I really want them to be in touch with their emotions, because if you're not, it can lead to a decline in mental health later on in life.
You mentioned you had burnout on numerous occasions, like the inability to talk about how you really feel. And like you said, all that pressure. I cannot believe it was 3 years of having to keep secrets, like being under that pressure, having to make those decisions, lying to people you really want to be open to, not being able to spend time with your family. All of this stuff is not easy, and doing it all at the same time. How much did that contribute to burnout, and how much is of a relation is there to burnout and, this identity crisis? And
a lot of it's all interlinked. And I would say to anyone listening, the one thing I didn't do that I should have was listen to my body. My body was telling me all along. I was really I almost lost my leg at one point because I contracted a rare disease in Singapore, and they couldn't figure out what it was, and I almost lost my leg. I promise you, I was in hospital. My leg had blown up to probably 3 or 4 times the size of my other leg, and they didn't know what it was. And I asked my wife to bring a tuxedo to the hospital, and I put a tux on, and I went to a work event that night. I walked out of the hospital, right? And my wife couldn't believe it, and the staff couldn't believe it. But I was like, well, I've got a thing to go to. Life doesn't stop, right? You've got to listen to your body. If things are going on inside your body, you've got to listen to it. And I failed to do that.
Oh my God, I'm listening to that, and so many different emotions are going through my head, because I'm thinking, on the one hand, that's so admirable, and which is kind of screwed up in itself, right? I'm actually, wow, he's so strong, like that resilience.
Well, but that's it, and that's probably what was going through my head at the time. Yeah, I'm going to be a big guy about this, and ridiculous.
But it's also just that I'm like, well, you're here to run a business, and that's what it takes. Like, you don't just fall down at the first hurdle, that all that sort of stuff. You need to learn how to pick yourself up and overcome these really difficult times. And on the one hand, that's incredibly admirable, but on the other hand, it's incredibly stupid. It's just like you said, your legs, but you said 4 times the size. I mean,
yeah.
Know when to take a break. Know when enough is enough. Know when your body wants you to just
and
stop.
I got to the event, and as soon as I got there, I was like, this was a mistake. And I went straight back to hospital. It was stupid, right? But you don't, sadly, I think you do get to such a stage where you are in complete and utter denial. You're not listening to your body. You're not listening to the people you love around you that are telling you to slow down. Doctors were telling me, you cannot continue doing what you're doing. You're not going to make it to 50. But I didn't listen. It becomes an obsession, what you're doing. And that is unhealthy.